My first guests this afternoon are Mei-Ling Chen and Tim Sussman. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Great. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you for coming down. We want to learn a little bit about Monterey Language Services. But before we do that, I just kind of want to get to know each one of you. So I'll start with Mei-Ling, and you are the CEO, correct, of
Yes.
Monterey Language Services. And give me a little bit of background on, where you came from and how you landed here in Monterey.
I see. Thank you. I was a student in 1997. I came to this area in 1997 as a student at the Monterey Institute of International Studies, where I got my master's degree. And I studied translation and interpretation. So my degree is in conference interpretation, master's degree in conference interpretation. And before that, my bachelor's degree is in diplomacy. And these two degrees combined opened the doors to the language career for me. I was a foreign service officer in New York. I was a translation manager, translation director in the language industry in Washington, D.C. and Monterey. And I was an adjunct professor at the Monterey Institute as well. I have been working in this field for more than 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So Monterey Language Services, in fact, is the continuation of our long history working in the field.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, let me go over to Tim real quick. So Tim, now how do you fit into Monterey Language Services?
Well, I'm currently a second-year master's candidate at the Monterey Institute in Nonproliferation and Terrorism Studies. And I also study Chinese language, which is how I know Mei-Ling Chen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bachelor's in global studies from the University of California, Santa Barbara. And I have firsthand experience working with Mei-Ling and Monterey Language Services.
So now, but you have actual job at Monterey Language Services,
I do.
correct? And that is?
A project manager.
Project manager.
And sometimes assistant to the CEO.
That's why.
That's your project.
Not assistant CEO, assistant to the
To
CEO.
the CEO, okay. Well, I'm sure Mei-Ling comes up with all these great projects, and that could be one of them, so that's okay.
Yeah, I met him at the Miss Job Fair, the Monterey Institute International Studies job fair, annual job fair,
Oh,
and I
that's
was
great.
very impressed. He was able to market on behalf of his colleagues, his classmates. So that's why, I think he's very talented, like all of our team members. And yeah, he assists me from time to time.
Oh, that's good. So when did Monterey Language Services, when was that founded?
Oh, yes. It was founded 2009.
2009.
Yes.
Okay. And tell me, so what are some of the services that you offer?
Yes. Monterey Language Services is a translation and interpretation company.
Mm-hmm.
We offer high-quality translation and interpretation services to businesses and organizations in all languages. Our services require high level of expertise. Our translators and interpreters usually have 2 degrees. One is on language, of course, and the other one is on the subject domain they are working on. And then we specialized in the topics such as medical, legal, technical, and marketing types of translation and interpretation.
That's a lot. And how many languages do you cover? I know you said a lot of different languages, but is there like a basic number?
Oh, you name it. Sometimes it's not just languages like Spanish.
Oh, no.
We cover even rare indigenous languages, such as Mixteco, Zapotec, Triqui.
Wow. I don't even have an idea what that is. But so when you have requests for languages that are, that are not common, how do you find those people? They don't all reside here. Do they?
In fact, the main reasons that we provide rare indigenous languages is because we provide translation and interpretation services to Natividad Medical Center. And quite a few indigenous people go to Natividad.
Right.
They give birth or they are ill. So that's why, since we have patients there, we believe there are many
They're
people.
here.
Yeah, they are here. They have communities here.
Right.
So we reach out to them through different networks and channels
That's really
within the
interesting.
community.
And just to add on your question before, I believe there was a City of Monterey celebration where Monterey Language Services translated happy birthday in 170 different languages or 150.
Oh, yes, right. Thank you for reminding me on that. The city of Marina, they just had 35 birthday.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, 35 annual birthday. And then we provide a translation of happy birthday in 35 languages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So it's not all technical and, you know, high level. So sometimes you have simple things, but you still have to get those accomplished.
Right.
So where are you located?
We located at the Marina Technology Cluster
Okay.
at UC University of California Ambest Center. So we are in Marina, but because we are at the Marina Technology Cluster, so we feel very dynamic because a lot of high-profile visitors, such as Small Business Administration Regional Director Elizabeth Eccles and our District Congressman Sam Farr, they came here to visit us a lot, and we got to meet them.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yes.
fantastic. And the Marina Technology Cluster does wonderful things, too.
And then also, we have a chance to network with the local businesses and organizations. So in other words, we have a lot of advantages that other companies don't have, thanks to being at the Marina Technology Cluster.
So that's great. So you're able to really network with the right people. Must keep you very busy then. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
So what are your goals?
Okay. What we do, Monterey Language Services is trying to bridge the language gap. That's what we do. One of our main goals is to strengthen the global economy through cultural understanding. In today's world, we have so many technology advancements, and then those technologies will connect our world. But at the same time, we also need translators and interpreters to assist communication and to bridge different languages. So so our goal is to, let's say 5 years from now, I envision Monterey Language Services becoming a leading force in the language industry, and it will be known globally and locally. The other thing we would like to do is to represent this area. As you can tell, it's very obvious. We are Monterey Language Services. And this area here in Monterey, we have so much language heritage and significance. One role model is Steinbeck, John Steinbeck. He brought the image of the Monterey to the entire world. That's wonderful. And we would like to accomplish the same in our way. Yes,
Absolutely.
And in fact, John Steinbeck is so inspiring that we have a poster of him in our office.
Well, there you go. You have to have that inspiration in front of you. But you know, I work in the hospitality industry, and I know that when we go to conferences and trade shows and we're promoting the area, one of the things that we bring up, especially to our international travelers, is that we are, we call ourselves the language capital of the world because we do have the dynamics and we have the resources here. So it's really fantastic. So it's a good selling point for us as well when we're trying to bring lots of international travelers to see the beauty of what we have here.
And keeping it local is what keeps the culture at Monterey Language Services a culture of continuous learning. And when you have passionate and committed people working there, and when you're bringing people in from overseas, so you just mentioned we are kind of the language capital of the world here in Monterey. But what Monterey Language Services is doing is it's keeping the well-educated and well-trained students and young people here in Monterey,
Yes.
working locally and sustaining this type of, I guess, expertise in language. Whereas other places in Monterey, for example, the DLI, which is a great institution, a lot of the other people coming to learn languages in Monterey leave shortly after,
Right.
13 months after they get here. What the Monterey Language Services is doing is keeping the people here, and it's what keeps the business local, but it also is helping to expand it globally, and it keeps it continually learning because the young people bring the nuances of language or the things they learn from, I guess, their culture and their society, and they bring it here, and it helps it with the language translation interpretation as well.
And it's fabulous, like Mei-Ling says. I mean, it really stimulates our local economy.
Yes, Joy.
And that's important.
Yes, it's very important.
Very important.
In fact, we have created a good amount of jobs locally. We hired local translators and interpreters to serve Natividad Medical Center, for example. Yes, we work with students from Monterey Institute of International Studies and CSUMB students. We have a lot of interactions with people in this area.
That's, fantastic. So you mentioned Natividad as one of your clients, and that's the medical side of it. And, who else are maybe your typical clients?
Yes, very good questions, and I think you will be surprised. We have global companies such as Hewlett-Packard, and then we have U.S. government such as the U.S. Navy,
Right.
and local governments such as County of Monterey. So we have a wide spectrum of client base.
That's very broad, very broad. But it's necessary in all types of business.
Yes.
Especially if we are, working in a global environment.
Yes.
That you're going to need those skills and that help in translation and interpretation. That's people can translate, but if you lose the meaning of it in the interpretation, I think that's always a struggle.
Yes.
Because if they don't understand the material or the what they're trying to get across, I don't know exactly how to say that, but it can get lost in just strict translation.
Right, and Mei-Ling and I have had this conversation many times, and Google Translate is not sufficient
No.
for translating material.
No.
And things get lost, the nuances and the actual meaning get lost if you're trying to do translation too quickly. And that's why having actual people, put the time in and have well-trained techniques in order to get the correct translation and interpret correctly, it's essential.
It is. It
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Joy, you brought up a very good point. Yes, quality is so important from our point of view. We provide high quality translation and interpretation, probably the highest in the industry. That's why our clients choose us, because we are committed to doing the job right at the first time. We have access to over 10,000 translators and interpreters, and for each project, we can always choose the best qualified translators or interpreters, and that is number one. And then number two is we are able to respond to our clients' requests very quickly and efficiently. So let's say you have a large project and you need it in a very short period of time, then we can put together a team of 10 or 30 or even more to finish the project in high quality and in a short turnaround time.
And that's important.
That's important.
Well, I mean, you probably have a lot of practice at the hospital. You might need somebody right away if there's
Yes.
an injury or something
In that
that you
case,
need somebody. Yeah.
Yes, if we need
Right.
somebody which is rare languages you never heard of, then we will mobilize all our teams to reach out and then to get an interpreter in time.
It's so fascinating. You'll have to come back again, or I'll have to spend some time with you because it's fascinating to me, and I think it's such a great opportunity and such a great business. But we're actually out of time. But I really thank you for coming in and giving our audience, this brief synopsis of what you do, and we wish you much luck in that. And I have this little banner, so I'm going to show it to you, and it's Monterey Language Services, bringing the world's languages. So thank you so much.